fire? Why did you fire?
I was scared. I was scared this person in the apartment was going to hurt me. And I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Could you please repeat your answer?
I was scared. Whoever was inside my apartment was going to kill me. And I'm sorry. I have to live with that.
You're damn right you do, white girl. Let's get at it.
Welcome to Dark at Dark at Dark at Dark at Dark. Dark. Yes.
Greetings, folks, and welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought series right here on the old TPOT YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why you are here. Now, tonight, we're going to get at something tonight that's going to piss some folks off. Yeah, some people are going to be pissed off tonight because we're going to talk about this Amber Guyger thing, but we're probably not going to talk about it the way you expect. Okay? Because tonight is Thursday night, D.X.L, Dark Exodus Live. Y'all already know what it is. But before we get started, of course, I have to thank all my subscribers, my contributors, my supporters, my donors. Like I always say, I mean, you guys, man, y'all look out for this platform so much, man. It's like, it's unbelievable, man. You know, I mean, y'all even donate to this channel when I'm not even on. I mean, it's crazy, you know, the way y'all support this channel, man. And like I always say, man, you don't have to spend your hard-earned coins on this platform, but you choose to do so. And man, I just can't believe it. Like I always say, though, I consider all of y'all to be supporters, whether you drop coins on this platform or not. I mean, you show up to these damn live streams every week. You share these videos, you watch these videos, you like these videos, you comment. Some of y'all even hit me up in my email, and I just appreciate it, man. I do, you know, and y'all know I don't do it to kiss your butts, because by now y'all know X don't kiss butts. But I have to let y'all know, man, that I am humbled. I'm honored. I'm appreciative, man. And I thank y'all. I thank all of y'all. All right. All right. Now then, what's good, brother Kenny? What's good, Raw Black? I see y'all up there. So tonight we're going to talk about this Amber Guyger thing on D.X.L. And the subject tonight, y'all, is why did Amber Guyger go down? But before we get into that, I wanna talk to y'all about police killings in the United States. Now, we all know, we all on media, we all watch TV, we all on YouTube, we see what goes on, right? Now, this year alone, okay, let's just talk about this year alone. This year alone, I believe there were 678 police killings in the United States. All right. And that's as of today. All right. Now, out of those 678 people that were killed by police, 144 of them was black, which comes out to about 20% of that, 21% to be exact. And that should strike us as odd because we're only 13% of the population. 4 of those black people killed, by the way, by police were women, not men, right? So up till today, 144 black folks have been killed by a police officer. Okay. Now, we see this kind of stuff all the time. We always see black folks getting killed by the police, right? Some armed, some unarmed, right? Now, when they're unarmed, that's when we raise the most hell. When they're armed, we don't really care that much. It doesn't get as much publicity. But when they're unarmed, that's a different story. Why? Because it raises questions. This person didn't have a weapon. Why is he dead? And you know, we always hear the same old crap from the police, right? I feared for my life. I thought he was going to kill me, etc., at all, right? And of course, we don't believe any of that because we know that the police are trained in the academy to say that once they kill someone. That's their get out of jail card. I feared for my life. I thought he was going to kill me, even though he had nothing in his hand but a cotton ball and a piece of string, right? But this time it was different, right? It was different from Michael Brown. It was different from Ramarley Graham. It was different from the brother down here in the Queen City. Those of you from the Queen City know Jonathan Farrell. It was different. It was all different, right? Many of these officers never faced any charges. The ones that did face charges, they ended up getting off, with the whole I feared for my life nonsense, like I spoke of earlier. But brother Botham Jean, I hope I'm saying his name right. I don't know if it's Jean or Jean, but brother Botham was in his apartment, minding his own business, doing nothing, just chilling. And this cop, Officer Guyger, walks in and guns this man down, right? And what makes it so bad, once she gunned him down, she didn't even try to perform any CPR. I know y'all saw the video. She didn't try to perform any CPR on the brother or nothing. The other cops came. They tried to save him. She didn't. I mean, she was too busy trying to save her own ass. But she did end up getting arrested and indicted and put on trial and convicted of murder. Now, she only got sentenced to 10 years, which I think is absurd. All right. Which I think is totally absurd. And we're going to talk about that a little later as well. But she did get convicted, right? And tonight we're going to talk about why. Now, if you are thin-skinned and you're one of those people who have already made up your mind and you don't want to hear anything else, now would be the time to turn the channel. I'm going to tell you why I believe, and this is me, has nothing to do with anyone else. The reason I believe that Officer Guyger found herself not only in jail, indicted, and guilty, and eventually in prison is because of this. Usually, when a black man finds himself dead by the hands of the police, where does it usually happen? It usually happens in the hood, right? It usually happens somewhere where crime is very high. It usually happens somewhere where there's guns, crack, drugs, and other stuff going on, right? Most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. But this was different. This was very different. She walks in, right? I guess just knocking off of her cop work. And she gets to an apartment that she claims she thought was hers. She claims the door is open. She pushes it open. There's a black shadowy figure there. And she shoots black shadowy figure, right? Now, y'all heard me play a few seconds of her testimony at the beginning of this. If you didn't, go ahead and rewind it and you'll hear what I played. Now, her claim is that she was scared. She feared for her life. She thought the person in her apartment, which wasn't her apartment, by the way, was going to kill her. That's what she said when she got on the stand. The fake crocodile tears and the whole nine. And boom, Brother Botham's dead. But she goes on trial and she gets convicted. And you know why she got convicted? Because this time The black man that got shot was a black man that white folks liked. Let me say that again. She went down because she shot a black man that white folks liked. You understand? When I saw white folks marching up there speaking about that man, I said, she's not going to get away with this one. She's going to get convicted. When people got up there and talked about how good a guy he was, what kind of community person he was, they talked about his schooling, his career path, the type of brother he was. I knew she wasn't going to get away with it because she killed a black person that white folks liked. Let me say that again. She killed a black person that white folks liked. Now, often when black people find themselves dead by the hands of the police, especially when it's not on tape, because remember, the killing of Brother Botham wasn't on tape. And oftentimes, even when it is on tape, guess what? They feared for their lives. This brother's dead, so they get off. And when it's not on tape, they absolutely positively get off. But not this time. Because what is it normally? When a brother finds himself dead by the hands of police, with the exceptions of people like Amadou Diallo in New York, people like Ramali Graham in New York, people like that who just got killed with no criminal record, didn't do anything wrong, find themselves dead at the hands of police. Many times when people find themselves dead at the hands of the police, what's the first thing that happens? Their records are pulled. And these brothers have rap sheets. They have rap sheets. So the police always pull that out as a defense, right? They pull out the rap sheet, his convictions, what charges he had, whether or not he had drugs in his system. All of that gets splashed out there for the public to see, right? It all gets splashed out there for the public to see. So even if a cop finds himself arrested, right, or the case finds its way in front of a grand jury, when the white folks sitting on that grand jury, because that's mostly who it is, look at it, they decide not to indict. And even when they decide to indict, the white folks sitting on that jury decide not to convict, no matter how clear and convincing the evidence is. Why? Because white people subscribe to what? They subscribe to, if this dude has a criminal rap sheet, if this dude's known for carrying guns, if this dude's known for having drugs on him, if this dude's known for doing drugs, he probably did something to get himself killed. Now, I know y'all hear that and y'all like, man, that's BS. But this is what we're facing when a brother finds himself dead by the hands of police officers. That's just what it is, y'all. That's just what it is. Now, I know we get all emotional and we're like, oh my God, but this is what it is, folks. And even if the cop finds himself indicted and goes on trial, the witnesses that often come up there are who? Are who? Black people from round the way, people who can barely string a sentence together, people coming up there with the baseball cap turned to the side, jersey down to their knees, hole in their pants as they go to the witness stand, and every 5 seconds saying, you know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? The jury looks at these folks and are like, these people are idiots. Especially when you got a bunch of white folks sitting on the jury. We're going to talk about that later too. They look at these people and they're like, these are his friends. These are the witnesses. These are the people who we are supposed to believe. And guess what? No matter what they say, no matter how much they say the person was innocent, they look at these people and make an assumption about these people. And ultimately, what do? Make an assumption about the brother who's dead. Because they also subscribe to birds of a feather flock together. If someone's sitting on that stand speaking in incoherent language, they come to court dressed like they're about to go to a party. They can barely get up on the stand because they're holding their pants up. Do you actually think that white folks are going to look at these people, see them as credible, believe them, even if they're telling the raw cane sugar truth? Do you actually think they're going to convict somebody based on their word? Of course not. Of course not. And what's really going to bother y'all is, guess what? A lot of black folks won't convict anybody over that either. They won't. Now, I know we're not supposed to judge people on appearances, on how they look. Yeah, we're not supposed to. How they look, how they dress, how they talk, their appearance. We're not supposed to judge people on that, right? But we do. So when people come up on that stand and start talking about this brother who was killed by these cops, and they can't articulate it correctly, they come up there with broken English and I mean every 10 seconds. Can we be surprised that these cops don't find themselves convicted? But that wasn't the case with this trial, was it? Because I'm pretty sure when that man, Brother Botham, found himself shot by this lady cop, they probably pulled his record, probably tried to see if he had any convictions or charges or arrest, probably looked for drugs and all this kind of shit in the apartment and went through his history and all that kind of stuff. Because remember, it wasn't like she was arrested the next day, right? And see what happened when they looked into that brother's life, when they looked into that brother's past, when they looked into what part of community that brother was. What's good, grown man business? Yo, grown man business, man. If you want to come up tonight, man, come on up, brother. Y'all go down there and subscribe to Grown Man Business, man. Grown Man Business be dropping the hardcore official truth for you brothers. I'm telling you, y'all need to get down there to Brother GMB's channel. I'm telling you, get down there. Now, like I was saying, when these juries, who are usually white folks, they cannot relate to most black folks. A jury will not convict a cop unless the person he killed can be humanized, especially if there's no video. Oftentimes when there is video, guess what? The victim cannot be humanized. That's why they bring up these things called character witnesses, for people to come and explain and talk about a person's life, who they are, what they do, what they stood for. And many times, like I said, when these cops find themselves on trial, the people who come up there and serve as witnesses, they're not good witnesses. They're not. They come up there and they can't explain the case. They can barely explain what happened, even though they were there. Their stories don't match the evidence. Their stories change over time from what they told the police when it first happened. That kind of crap does not get cops convicted. But this was different. Like I said, the people who came up and spoke about this young man, they articulated who he was, what he did, what he was about. And I say again, he was the type of black man that white folks saw as human. He was the type of man that black folks saw as human. Because I believe either half or more of that jury was black. I'm not sure. This is why this lady cop got convicted. Because that jury was convinced that that man didn't deserve to die. Now, I'm not saying other brothers who have gotten killed by the police deserved to die. But those juries who sat through the very minute amount of cases where cops have killed folks, in their opinion, those people deserve to die. In their opinion, those people, them being dead, is a good thing. If they didn't deserve to die then, they probably deserved to die over something they've done in the past because of their records, because of their quote unquote associates who come on the stand and speak about them. They look at these people's mothers and their brothers. They look at these people's friends. They look at these people's pictures on social media and they make an assessment. And I think usually that assessment is made before the trial is even over. I think many of these people have their minds made up before the trial even gets going. And as it winds down and the prosecution puts on their case, the defense puts on their case, they get more and more convinced of something that they've already decided. They saw Botham Jean as human. They didn't see him as black. Look at it. Look at the testimony. Look at the people who came up there and spoke on his behalf. Look at the people who came and spoke on his behalf during the sentencing phase. White folks. White folks. Now, we saw the trial. We saw things that bothered us. It bothered us when we saw the black female bailiff stroking Officer Guyger's hair. It bothered us when we saw the presiding judge hugging Officer Guyger. It bothered us when we saw young Botham, Jean's family hugging Officer Guyger. When you've ever seen that? When have you ever saw a judge hug a defendant accused of murder? When have you saw family members come over and hug the person who was convicted of murdering their kinfolk? When have you ever seen a bailiff stroking the hair of a convicted murderer? You know why you saw this? You saw this because they empathized with Officer Guyger, because she killed a very good person. She killed someone that everybody said was a good guy. They felt bad for her, not because she got convicted. They felt bad for her because she killed one of the good guys. And that must be hard, right? That must be difficult to deal with. You didn't just kill some Negro on the block. You killed a good man, a smart man, a community-minded man, a child mentoring man, a musical man, a religious man. Brother Botham had all the boxes checked. This is why Amber Guyger went down. But let's flip it. What if Brother Botham was some Negro on the block with his pants down to his knees, with his jersey down to his pants, with his baseball cap turned to the side, and a pocket full of crack? Would it have mattered if he was in his apartment? Would it have mattered if he wasn't doing anything wrong? Would it have mattered if she had made that crucial mistake that she claims she made going in there? Would that have mattered? We all know the answer, right? Because if she would have killed one of those brothers, she would have been where? In the hood somewhere, in the ghetto, in the projects. And people would have thought she's the police. She's supposed to be there. She's supposed to be there protecting, serving. These people are miscreants. That's why she's there. But see, once they start digging into Brother Botham's life, there was no way they could justify her being there, despite of what she was saying, despite of claiming to confuse his house with hers, despite her fake crying about how he charged her and how she thought he was going to kill her. They couldn't justify her being there. And the fact that they couldn't justify her being there was her downfall, along with Brother Botham's life. brother Botham's lifestyle, who he was, what he did. He was a part of that community, a big part, a good part. That is why she was convicted. I say again, they were able to humanize him. They didn't see him as black. They saw him as a person, a human, a man. And that's the rub, y'all. Now, I know many people have talked about this, but I bet you they ain't talked about it like this, have they? Because we get so used to seeing this kind of stuff. We get so used to seeing our brothers shot down in the street. According to statistics, a black man gets shot every 28 hours by the police or somebody who thinks they're the police. Right? But this time was different. This time, the police actually went to jail. And she's a chick. And y'all know, she tried to, change that rough cop look that she had. She dropped the hair, no more pantsuits. She tried to look like a librarian or a teacher. They were trying to get her look so far away from cop. They just wanted her to look like a white lady, a scared little white lady who made a mistake. But they couldn't justify her being in Brother Botham's apartment. Like I said, he was one of the good guys. Why were you there? Why were you there? Oh, yeah, that's right. You thought it was your apartment. I keep forgetting that. They had to convict her. Now, if he was just some dude from the block, some dude from the projects, and been to jail a couple times, all that, all she would have had to do is say, hey, I feared for my life from this black guy. They would have looked into his background and said, yep, he probably did something. See, Brother Botham, they couldn't say that because of his lifestyle. I say again, the type of brother he was. They couldn't think that. There was no way they were going to think that he probably did something. Why? Why would they think it? Like I said, they pulled his jacket. They looked through his life. They talked to his family. They looked on his social media. They talked to his friends, his family. All of that. There was no way they were going to let her get away with killing one of the good black people. Now, I know that bothers y'all that I say that. But deep down inside, y'all know it's true. Because if it had been me or you laying dead in our apartment, Amber Guyger would still be riding around in her police cruiser, wearing her uniform and talking shit about black folks, like she did on her text messages on her phone. Because she obviously had some type of view of black people to begin with, right? But see, none of that would have mattered if it was me or you, brothers, wouldn't have mattered. I say again, Brother Botham had all the boxes checked. He was one of the good guys. And one thing about white folks, they don't want you killing none of the good Negroes. Now, they can kill you or me, right? You kill one of them good guys, we are not going to let you get away with it. Now, the family, I'm sure, are going through a tough time. I can't imagine what they're going through. I know last year, I mean, y'all don't know this about me, but I'm going to share this with y'all. Last year, my brother-in-law, my wife's younger brother, was murdered in his apartment. And the guy went on trial. He took it to trial. He lost and he went up. You know, I don't know if he's upstate yet, but I'm pretty sure he'll be up there soon. Same thing, killed him in his apartment, stabbed him up, you know, and he did go to jail. He did go to prison, right? Now, he did the same thing. He claimed self-defense and all this kind of nonsense, but that shit didn't work. Didn't work. Off he went to the hoots gal. Now, if he was a cop, because this happened in New York City, this happened in Brooklyn. If he was a cop, he probably would have got away with that shit. He would have got away with that shit. Why? Because of where it was. The part of town it was in. He would have gotten away with it. Just like Officer Guyger would have gotten away with it if she was in another part of town. If she was over there with the real Negroes. If she was over there where the drugs and the crack and the guns and the killing takes place. Because unfortunately, when a black man finds himself dead and one of those cops get locked up and go on trial, they're not just putting a cop on trial, man. They're putting that dead brother on trial too. He's on trial too. If he's been to jail before, they're bringing that up. He got convictions, they're bringing that up. Drug charges, bringing that up. Weapon charges, bringing that up. Even if he didn't have a weapon at the time, they're bringing that up. I know, I'm from New York. Many people got killed in New York by the police. NYPD was notorious for it. I always said that NYPD stood for numerous young people dead. Many people NYPD slaughtered. But see, where they slaughtered these people were in some of the worst of neighborhoods. Of course, these cops were scared. Look where they were at. Look at the people around them. Look what goes on in this neighborhood. Look how many killings, shootings, robbery, drug arrests go on in that precinct. Of course they were afraid. They were down there with Negroes who shoot and kill, and rob, don't respect authority. Of course, they say they were afraid. We believed them. But Officer Guyger couldn't pull that one off, could she? Not just because of where she was, but who she shot. There was no way they could say they believed that she was afraid. He lived in the same building she lived in. Imagine that. And there's probably other cops who live in that building. How many damn cops you know that live in the projects, live in the ghetto, live in the parts of town where people are getting shot up every weekend? How many? She wasn't in the hood. She wasn't in the projects. She wasn't somewhere where she had to be scared. Was she? And then on top of all of that, you killed one of the good brothers. Not even white folks was going to let you get away with that, girl. Now, I know everybody's upset that she only got 10 years, and everybody says she'll probably only do 3, 4, which I think is a total crock of BS. You got people on drug charges doing more time than that. You got people who stole a bike who are doing more time than that. They took it easy on her, man. Because like I said before, they empathize with this white lady cop because they know it must hurt to have killed one of the good ones. They want to hug her, stroke her hair, say it's going to be okay, bring her to Jesus, and all this kind of nonsense. But would they have done that if she had shot someone in the hood? Well, first of all, she probably wouldn't have gotten convicted. But let's say she did. Would she had gotten a hug from the judge? Would she got her hair fixed from the bailiff? Would she have gotten forgiveness from the family? Of course not. We know the answer. We know what this is, y'all. We know what it is. Because even white folks, oh, good look on that super chat, Brother Terrence. I see you up there. We know what this is. Because, see, there are many different grades of us black folks. We see it. White folks see it too. You know, white folks do it too. We see it amongst ourselves, where we consider certain black folks better than others. We consider certain black folks worse than others. This case proves that white folks look at us different too. They don't see us all the same. Yeah, I know we hear the talk on media. Oh, all of us are niggas, blah, blah, blah. Nope. I beg to differ because the white folks and the black folks that sat on that jury, if they saw brother Botham Jean the same way they saw the rest of us, that lady cop would have got off, y'all. I know. Y'all say, oh, that's not enough time. Yes, I agree with you. It's not. The bitch should have went away for life. Life. But no. Because even though they see some of us as different, and they saw Brother Botham as one of the good guys, in their mind, she just made a mistake. We shouldn't ruin her life, even though she killed one of the good guys. I mean, they're not going to think of him, in that high regard now. I mean, after all, he was black. So we understand why you shot him, because he was black. But you probably shouldn't have shot that black guy. So we'll send you to jail, but we won't give you much time. What the hell? You went to jail. You're never going to be a cop again. We just want to teach you a lesson about black folk. That's all it was. It's a lesson about black people. What's wrong with you, girl? What's wrong with you, Officer Guyger? You don't kill the good Negroes. You go and you kill the Negroes in the hood. You go and kill the Negroes on the block. The dope dealers. The gun boys. The crackheads. The thieves, robbers. Those you can shoot. Those you can kill. Those will let you slide. But if you kill one of the good ones, meaning the ones that we declare as the good ones, we got to teach you a lesson, white girl. Yeah, we know you're white. That whole white privilege thing. But you messed up. Yeah, you done messed up this time. You done killed one of the pillars of our community. You weren't supposed to see him as black. Not him. Now, if it were you or me, would have been perfectly fine to see us as black. But see, she wasn't supposed to see him as black. She's supposed to see him as human, as a man. So they had to teach her a lesson. Now, she worked for a police department, right? Where the chief is black, a black lady. And the black lady, to her credit, did fire her. Caught a lot of heat overdoing it, but she did fire her. Right? Now, she caught some heat over that. She caught some heat over that. But she did fire her. And then eventually she was arrested and indicted. But that didn't happen immediately. Like I said, it happened as they start to discover who Botham Jean was. Because like I said, if it had been just some old rank and file Negro, none of that would have happened. They would have looked into his past, seen how many times he'd been locked up, see how many times he beat up his girlfriend, see how many times he'd been caught with weed, seen how many times he had warrants. Nah, we'll just put you on desk duty for 6 months. That's all. But they start to look into this brother's past. They start to see who he was. And guess what? Good old white folk were speaking up for this black man. And you know, once white folks say something about you, that's the gospel. Oh, white folks are saying he's a good Negro? Wait a minute. Hold up. You mean to tell me he didn't sell crack? You mean to tell me he ain't been arrested before? You mean to tell me he didn't do no stints in prison? You mean to tell me he was actually someone who did things in the community? Religious man? Working man? Living in the same apartment complex with a bunch of other police? Man, this will not be stood for. You hurt white folks when you killed this black man. White folks are going to miss him. White folks saw him as family. We ain't letting you get away with that. Now, of course, we ain't going to do much to you, but we're going to take that badge. We're going to lock your ass up. We're going to give you some time, too. Because, see, you didn't just hurt his parents, his siblings. You hurt some of us white folks. We love this black man. He was a good man. We cried for this man. This man helped us out. We loved working with him. He was damn near one of us. And you took him away? I've always said, and I've said it for years, nothing ever changes for black people until it affects white folks first. The brother was loved by white people. White folks loved him. They loved this brother. It affected them. It was almost like she shot one of theirs. And he was innocent. Imagine that. White folks upset over an innocent black man being shot. When so many innocent black men have been shot before. But see, white folks didn't care then. They didn't give a shit. Why? Because they didn't know those black people. They didn't know those brothers. They didn't care about those brothers. They're just Negroes from the hood. Another dead Negro on the street. They didn't give a shit. But once one of those black folks that they loved, that they thought was good, that they thought was great, that they thought were special, there was no way in hell that that cop was going to get off on that shit. And I said it. I called it. But you know, this is TPOT. This is what we do here. Yeah, you're right, brother Danubian. Friends with white folk. And white folks got up on that stand and cried and talked about how they hung out and how their husbands loved them and they went to sporting events together. And he was one of those black people who found himself welcomed into the homes of many white folks. I say again, he was one of their favorites. White folks ain't even letting the police get away with that. You mean to tell me you gonna kill one of our blacks? Our blacks? Can you imagine the talk at those tables of the people he was friends with? Oh my God, they killed one of our blacks. This will not be stood for. They killed one of the good blacks. Someone must pay for this. Now, I know y'all don't like me talking about this stuff. I know. But I had to do it. Because I told my wife I was going to talk about this shit tonight. And y'all know I'm right. Y'all know I'm right. Even if y'all disagree with me, y'all know I'm right. The only reason why this white girl, Officer Amber, well, she's not officer anymore, right? She's inmate number 57607. That's her. That's her title now. Even though Officer Guyger, aka inmate number 5607, even though she went to jail and she's only going to do a little bit of time, and that amount of time probably pisses us off. I know it pisses me off, but I had to talk about this tonight because I want y'all to understand that racism isn't the only thing that we deal with in Black society. We also deal with classism, folks, and not just amongst ourselves. We deal with classism amongst others as well. Other ethnic groups see us in different classes and categories, y'all. That's what we missed about this whole thing. And his family They played right into it. They went over there and hugged the goddamn white girl. This white hoe done shot my brother. You think I'm going to go over there and hug her ass? Shit. I get an opportunity to put my hands on, I'll probably snatch a fucking Adam's apple out. Hug her? You gonna let me get within arm's reach of this bitch? And she done shot my brother dead? I'd have ripped that bitch tongue out. Hug her? I'd have put my fist through her throat. But they went right on over there and we forgive you, Amber. What? I don't forgive Amber. It wasn't even my brother. I don't forgive that white hoe. For the same reason that anyone else of average intelligence would not forgive her. You murdered my brother. He wasn't doing shit. He was in his house, minding his business. And you come out with some old cockamamie story about how you thought his crib was yours. And the only thing you could decide to do was shoot? You had a taser on, didn't you? Did you have a billy club? Did you have pepper spray? Plus, what the hell was you doing at his house? I still believe that there's more to this. Because I don't give a shit. He lived on a different floor. Those flights of steps didn't ring a bell. Maybe you took the elevator. That didn't ring a bell either. It was an apartment complex, was it not? There was no letters, no numbers on the door. So you go up an extra flight of steps, see a door with a number different than yours, and you so damn preoccupied that you still proceeded? I don't believe you, Amber. I don't believe you. I'm glad her ass is going to prison. I'm glad. Because if she's that stupid, not only do she not need to be a cop, her ass don't need to be walking around. She too stupid. He's too stupid to be walking around amongst us. You mess around and shoot one of us because we sitting in our own car. Shit, she might think it's her car. See you sitting in there and put a hot one in you. Oh, I thought it was my car. Even though it was parked in a parking lot that I never park in. This is what we have, folks. This is what we have. And this is why this cop went down. Wasn't about justice, man. It wasn't about right. It wasn't about wrong. It wasn't about racism. It wasn't about white supremacy. It wasn't about any of that. It was about class and how that particular block of society saw the person who was killed. Do you understand? You understand? Let me say it again. It was about how that block of society saw the person who was killed. That's why she didn't get away with it, y'all. That's why. Because I say again, if it was just any rank and file Negro, so what? He's dead. Who cares? She feared for her life. Rubber stamp it. Another dead Negro. That's it. Couldn't pull that this time because it seemed so unlikely that he would do anything to hurt anyone, especially a little white girl. He had white friends. He had white girls who were friends. No way we could spin it and say he tried to hurt this little white cop. He had white friends. He hung out with us white folks. Came to our houses. Went to our children's birthday parties. Supported us at our graduations. He would have never hurt one of us white people. The matter with you, Amber? It's what it is, man. We have to understand this shit, y'all. Racism usually accompanies classism and vice versa. We know we practice classism amongst ourselves. We treat other black folks different from this group of black folks. We look up to some black folks. We look down on others. You think other people don't do that shit too? You think other people don't see black people in different classes? For instance, let me give y'all a scenario, and then I'm gonna start sending out the links to some of my people, like, the usual suspects. But let me give y'all a scenario. Say it's any old American city, right? Where the north side is pretty decent, but the south side, you'll get murdered just as soon as get looked at, right? Now you have a police department that serves this city. When they get a call to go to the north side, where the uppity white folks are, and the upper middle class white folks, where the medium income is $100,000, $150,000. They live in $500,000 homes. And when they get a call, they can get a call for a shooting in those neighborhoods. They'll go in that neighborhood, and a lot of times, no lights flashing. They pull up, they damn near social workers. They trying to de-escalate it. Dude standing in there, we got a gun, and they trying to talk him down. Like I said, the cops transform into social workers and counselors and psychotherapists. Come on, sir, you don't want to do this. Come on, let us help you. Come on, sir, you don't want to hurt anyone. Put the gun down. Nice and calm, relaxed. It's a friendly environment. even though it's a law enforcement environment. The environment is friendly and calm because where they are. But they can get a call for a little fight between children. They can get a call for something being stolen. They can get a call for a car being broken into. Forget a weapon or gun. They can get a call for a car being broken into. But if they heading to the south side, where Negroes are, boy, they coming in there, boy, lights going, it's 75 of them. Now, only 2 of them went to the white man's neighborhood where he got a gun and aiming it at folks. Only 2 of them went. But where somebody done broke into a car, boy, 75 of them. Get out, boy, they already got that gun unlocked, hand on it. They going in their trunk, getting rifles, flat jackets on for 2 12-year-old kids fighting. It's the environment. It's the environment. Of course they coming down there fully stocked, locked and loaded. When they coming where us Negroes are, of course, they bringing everybody. They got the damn dogs, got the Humvees, SWAT team. Everybody's down there. Helicopter. All of that. But something twice as bad on that north side. They ain't coming with none of that. They ain't got their military shit on. None of that. They ain't even got their guns out. No sirens, no nothing. Told you. They pull up like somebody from CPS. They coming to de-escalate because of the environment, man. Because of the unconscious bias. They automatically think they're going to have to shoot somebody. They come to where us Negroes at. No matter what we're doing. Somebody can call the police on your grandma crossing the street. Here they come with the damn SWAT team. Got grandma surrounded, pointing AK-47s at her head. She 85. God damn it. Madam, drop the cane. Drop the walker. Drop the walker. This is what we have. You understand? Do you understand what X is telling you? This, I say again, is why Amber Guyger went down. She wasn't supposed to shoot that man. The way they talked about him, he was an honorary white man. Wrong with you, Amber. How we say it? that good black folk, Amber. We must teach you a lesson, Amber. You must be able to distinguish the good ones from the bad. We're not going to do much to you, but we must punish you. We must make an example out of you because you killed one of our Negroes. We don't give a shit that you're a cop, because not even cops can mess with our Negroes. Now I know I'll probably get some hate emails and, a bunch of dislikes down here. Oh, X, you're crazy. I can't believe you said that, X. Believe it. Because after this stream is over tonight, y'all will think about it. Y'all know that I'm right. Because any one of you watching this goddamn video right now, if that was your ass shot, there would have never been an arrest. There would have never been a trial. There would have never been a conviction. And we know it. We know it. Once she got up there with those crocodile tears, because see, that would have started right at the scene. Oh my God. I feared for my life. I thought he was a burglar. Would have gotten away with it. He would have. She would have gotten away with it. So y'all have to understand, there's more to this stuff, man, than just blackness and whiteness, man. Police and citizens. This case proves it. That is why I'm talking about it. Because y'all know, hey, what's good, Cap? I see you up there, man. This case proves it, folks. It does. This is one of these cases that we must watch. Because, see, this is what's going to happen. Because, like I always say, there will be more. It's not like this is the last police killing. Unfortunately, this is not the last police shooting. There will be more. But the next time a brother gets shot and he is in the same quote unquote class as brother Botham, the same thing's going to happen, y'all. The cop's not going to get away with it. If he's one of the quote unquote good Negroes, the cop is not going to get away with it. They're not. Now, if they shoot me or shoot one of you, they're getting off it. They're getting off. But see, people like Botham, damn near perfect, as how people described them, that is, they are not going to let the cops get away with that. They're not. Too many white folks complaining. Too many white folks complaining to the police chief, to the mayor, to the governor, to city council, to all those people who make those decisions. The district attorney's office. I can imagine after this happened to Brother Botham, how many of those white folks was up in that district attorney's office saying, something must be done. And it's sad and it's troubling that the only way a dead black man who was in his apartment minding his own business and finds himself dead, the only way he can get any damn justice is if white folks demand it. Think about that. The only way a black man can get justice is if white folks demand it. Because we could be out there marching and protesting and flipping over cars and kicking in store windows and setting fires, and we've done that 1,000 times. And what did it get? Nothing. You let them white folks start going into that district attorney's office. You let them white folks start going to that mayor's office. Let them white folks start marching into that police chief's office. Something gonna happen now, ain't it? This right here needs to be a lesson to us. And like I said, Brother Botham's family are probably going through it, man. I'm sure they are. They're going through it, man. The man was killed on some bullshit. Promising young brother. Good career. Obviously a decent guy. Not a criminal. None of that shit. I don't think he's supposed to be dead. But I also don't think Eric Garner is supposed to be dead. I also don't think Mike Brown is supposed to be dead. I don't think Sean Bell is supposed to be dead. I don't believe Ezell Ford is supposed to be dead. I don't believe Kamani Gray is supposed to be dead. I can go on and on. Put some names in the chat of people that you know. That's what I want to see. I want to see some names here of all those people who shouldn't be dead. Let's see it. Let's see the Tamir Rices, Philando Castile. They shouldn't be dead either. Right? Trayvon Martin. One of my all-time. Sandra Bland. One of my all-times. The person who started this, man, for me. Y'all know who it is because I've mentioned her name many, many times. This child, man, As a matter of fact, I'm about to dig. Let me see if I can get a picture of her. Let me see. Because I want to show y'all something. Y'all keep putting those names up. That's what I want to see. I want to see some names right here of those people who should not be dead. I'm going to pull her picture up. And I'm going to see if y'all know who this is. Because this is the person who gave rise to TPOT. I know I got a picture of it in my computer, but I don't feel like looking for it. I don't know where it is. So I'm going to have to pull it up here. Got too many damn files. Damn it. Let me see. Come on. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep those names coming, y'all. I know I ain't the only one who know these names of these folks who shouldn't be dead. I know I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. Let me see. Here she is. I'm going to see if y'all know who this is. Let me see. God damn it. This is the girl that y'all can thank the inception of TPOT for. This is the girl that started TPOT. God damn it. Hold up. It ain't gonna let me do it, y'all. I gotta download because damn it. I gotta download her picture first. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I gotta download her picture first, y'all. That's the only one to be able to do it. Because it won't let me. The shit won't let me do what I want to do, y'all. So I'm gonna download her picture. Can y'all guess? Can y'all guess who it is? Who started TPOT? And the people who've been following me a long time, y'all don't say nothing because y'all already know who it is. Don't say nothing. Y'all already know who it is. Damn, they won't let me. Can I just a picture? Just do it like that. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I know y'all know. I know y'all know. And this person wasn't killed by the police, y'all. So I don't want y'all to think. I don't want y'all to think she was killed by the police because she wasn't. She was actually killed by these two idiots. She wasn't killed by the cops. But her death started it all. Her death gave rise to TPOT. Well, gave rise to TPOT in the form it is now, I should say, because she was the same age as my daughter. She reminded me of my daughter. And like I said, those of you who've been following me since I had like 11 subscribers, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing because I know y'all know who it is. Don't say anything. Let me see if y'all got it. No, nobody said it. Nobody said it. Look at all those names, man. I'm impressed with y'all, man. I am impressed with y'all. I tell everybody, man, my audience is smart as hell. I tell everybody all the time, my audience is smart. They know what it is. That's why they are here. That's why they're here. Intelligent folks. All right, I'm going to show y'all this picture, and I'm going to see if y'all know who this person is. And like I said, this is the person that gave rise to TPOT. If I could bring it up, God damn it. As y'all know, I ain't that savvy with this shit yet. I'm still thinking it's Google Hangouts and shit. You know? Still thinking it's Google Hangouts out this one. Let's see if y'all know who this is. Let me see if y'all know who this person is. This over there. Like that. Right down. I know y'all like, damn, X a stupid ass. He can't even get his damn. I'm trying to get it, y'all. Here we go. Okay. Y'all see that? Can y'all see that? Did I do that right? I think I did. Y'all see her? Do y'all know who that is? Do y'all know who that is? Huh? Who can name that girl? Who can name her? Who can name her? Hmm? Who could name her, where she's from, and what happened to her? That face gave rise to TPOT. She's the reason TPOT exists the way it does today. Because, like I said, when she got killed, she was the same age as my daughter. And she reminded me of my daughter. And she got killed on some bullshit. I believe she was actually shot in her back while she was trying to get away from what these crazy Negroes was doing. And the crazy thing is, I think her killers just got convicted like 5-6 months ago, I believe. Y'all don't know who that is? Now, don't know who that is. That, folks, is Hadia Pendleton, was her name. She got killed in Chicago. I believe it was in 2012, 2013. And she actually performed at Barack Obama's inauguration. She was a promising young girl. And believe it or not, she was actually one of those young girls who, you know, she spoke out against the violence and the crime and the shooting and all that stuff. And she ended up dying by the hands of one of those same fools that she spoke out against. I mean, she was a promising young girl, man. She had a lot going for her. She was only 13, good student. And like I said, she had performed at Barack Obama's inauguration and all of that. You know, she was gonna be one of the good ones, you know. And like I said, she reminded me so much of my daughter. She was the same age as my daughter. She looks like my daughter. And when I heard about the story, man, that's what started me doing this shit. I mean, what what a lot of y'all probably don't know about TPOT is that when TPOT started, we talked about the violence in Chicago. We talked about the violence in Detroit, the violence in New York. I actually covered covered a lot of police killings in New York. I mean, literally went down there where the stuff happened, where they was having riots. I was down there when Molly Graham got killed. I was down there when Kamani Gray got killed. I mean, that's what TPOT's main thing was. We did a lot of police brutality, a lot of unnecessary killings of young folks. I mean, a lot. We did that a lot. And this girl right here, she started it all, man. She started it all, y'all. Hadia Pendleton started it all. I can't believe y'all didn't remember her. But anyway, yeah. So I wanna yeah, that's right, brother Danubian. She was 15 at the time. This thing, man, with I know I went all off on another tangent talking about other shit, but this thing with this girl, man, with this white girl killing his brother. I have to say this again, man. We have to see this for what it is, man. This should teach us a lesson, man, that there is no such thing as equal justice. I mean, the amount of time she got for this speaks volumes to that. Okay? The amount of time she got speaks volumes to that. The fact that the cop didn't get away with it speaks volumes to that. Because I say again, I mean, there was no video of the shooting. And usually when there's no video, cop could say anything. Doesn't matter how many witnesses saw what they did. And nobody saw her shoot him. Nobody was in that apartment when she shot that man. Anything she could have said, they could have easily believed. But because of who he was, it just seems so unlikely. Anything she said that didn't go along with the narrative of this man's life was not going to fly. The dog was not going to hunt. You know? I'm just saying. This is why, man. This is why. This is why it happened. This is why Amber Guyger went down, folks. You understand? This is why. Now, people will say that us black folks, we should be happy that a cop went to jail for killing one of us. But I don't think we should be happy. I don't think we should be happy. I don't even think we should be satisfied. For one, they didn't give her enough time. And for two, how can we not look at this with some degree of scrutiny? Because we know that if she was on the other side of town, same circumstances, wouldn't have went to jail. She wouldn't have. Just like that cop who killed Ayanna Stanley. Ayanna Stanley was 7 years old out there in Detroit, I believe. She was shot dead while she was asleep. That 7-year-old baby wasn't doing anything. Right? But look where the cop was. He was in Detroit looking for somebody they had a warrant for. There's people with warrants in this building. Of course he was scared. Of course he feared for his life. Lied and said that the grandmother grabbed him and wrestled him. And the gun went off and shot the baby in the head. And guess what? He did get arrested. Shit, he went to trial. But guess what? No conviction. No conviction. It was in Detroit, where all the Negroes are. Yeah, he shot a kid, but it's understandable. Look at the neighborhood he was in. They were looking for a wanted felon. Of course, it's reasonable to believe that grandma wrestled him and made his gun go off and kill that baby. It's reasonable to believe that, right? Y'all want to come up? Let me know. Who want to come up and talk about this here? I done ran my damn mouth enough. Because if nobody want to come up, I'm just going to shut it down. I'm just going to shut it down. So if you want to come up, let me know. I'll send you the email. Cap said the pork chop pastor was ready to celebrate after Amber received a guilty verdict. The pork chop pastor. That's funny, Cap. That shit funny. The pork chop pastor. Yeah. So that's where we at, y'all. I mean, I know, I went on a rant. I've been ranting for like the past hour and a half about this. It's just that I want black folks to be aware, man, of what happened here. This wasn't done for us. She wasn't fired for us. She wasn't arrested for us. She wasn't indicted for us. She wasn't convicted for us, man. She wasn't. This happened because that white officer killed a black man that white folks loved, that white folks admired, that white folks thought was a great person. It wasn't for us. It was for him. It was for him. It was for them. It bothered them. It hurt them. It hurt those white folks. They got something taken from them. That's who it was for. Wasn't for us, man. Wasn't. So don't let them tell you that we need to be happy that we scored this victory. We didn't score shit. Because if he was any other Negro who hung around nothing but Negroes and knew nothing but Negroes, if only Negroes was up on that stand talking about this man, she would have walked right out of that goddamn courtroom and then went and fought for her damn job back and probably would have got it. But then again, if that was the case, I say again, wouldn't be no arrest. Nothing. Because y'all know it ain't never been illegal to kill a black man. Let me say that again. It ain't never been illegal to kill a black man, especially if you're white, especially if you're the police. When one of us black men gets shot, the general consensus is, well, he probably deserved to die anyway. If not for what he was doing that night, for some shit he did 100 nights ago, 200 nights ago. But see, that wasn't the story for this young man. They didn't think he deserved to die. They talked about it. They talked about him. Talked about what kind of person he was and what he brought to their lives. That mattered. Mattered to everybody sitting on that damn jury. In their minds, shit, they might have thought that he was a better person than her. Especially when they start bringing out those texts about how bigoted she was. You notice how white folks get real concerned with racism when they're around black folks that they like? There's no black folks around that they like. They can care less about that racist shit. But if they can say, I have black friends, now bigotry and prejudice is evil now. Because, see, we didn't see him as black. He was just our friend. You saw him as black. Shame on you, Amber. We will send you up the river. But for only for 2 years. Because that's what they'll say. They'll say we didn't see him as black. We didn't see him as black. We saw him as Botham, our friend. You killed our friend, Amber. And we're going to punish you. Let this be a lesson to you other coppers. Don't you ever kill one of our Negroes again. Because if you do, we're going to punish you. Just like we did Amber. Because that's what it is. And we often talk about white supremacy, man. and the white power structure. We saw it at work in this. We saw it at work. We saw how it goes. Especially when you do something to one of their Negroes. A Negro that they have claimed as their own. I knew she wasn't going to get away with it. I knew it. There was no way to spin it. And hey, by all accounts, he was a good dude. But many a good dude have been killed by the police, y'all. Many. The only difference is they were never rubber stamped by white people. You understand? Do you understand? They were never rubber stamped by white folks. No white folks ever got on a stand and told you how great these black dudes was. Of course, the cops got away with it. But once those white folks start marching up on that stand with tears in their eyes and the sad voice and pens with his picture on it, you're going down. You're going down. And this is what happened to Amber. They made an example out of her. That's why she went down. Now, of course, I say again for the fifth time, not for long. Because they could have gave her more time if they wanted to. But they didn't. You know, they think she just made a mistake. Yeah, I know you confused him, with one of those niggers. That's what happened. That's all it was. That's understandable. Confused him with one of those niggers. But he wasn't Amber. So we sending your ass to jail. If only for a little while. We got to send you to jail. You killed Botham Jean. Botham Jean. Hey, he might have been black, Amber. But God damn it, he was one of us. And that's it. That's it, folks. That's why we saw what we saw. But me, I'm not rejoicing that she went down. Even though I believe it's a good thing. Because she should do some time for killing that man. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't rejoice. I'm glad that she's doing some time on it. It's the principle behind her doing time that I got a problem with. And y'all should have a problem with it too. But anyway, I'm gonna close this out early tonight. None of the usual suspects are around. I don't know where they at, but they ain't around here. So I'm gonna close this out early. Y'all know we usually go to like 12:30, 1 o'clock up in here most nights, but tonight we not. I just wanted to talk about this with y'all tonight because I knew I would be putting a different kind of spin on it than most everybody else, you know, than the news and all that. Because I wanted y'all to think about it. Because y'all know this is the frontistery, right? Y'all know that TPOT is the frontistery. It's a place for thinking. And I wanted y'all to think about this. And I know y'all will. Because my audience is smart. Very intelligent folks in this chat. And I know y'all understand where I'm coming from. Right? Right. But anyway, this is what I need y'all to do. Get your black behinds down to Facebook. Proper the Thought series. That's Proper the Thought, one word, series, the next word on Facebook. That's our main page. Go ahead, like the page, share the page, follow the page. You can also catch up with old X down there. You can drop me a line. I'm guaranteed to get in contact with you in at least 24 to 168 hours. Also, while you're down there, you might as well go ahead and check out the Proper Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. That's the Proper Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. Go ahead, request to be a member. You're guaranteed to get in there quick. If you don't, just shoot me a line, and I'll talk to my admins, and they'll get you straight. Because trust me, like I always say, my shit gets blocked, which makes no sense. But my shit actually gets blocked when I try to. My shit be like held under review. I'll be like, what the hell is this bullshit? You know, so you have a problem getting in there or posting something on there, just let me know. I'll talk to my admins, you know, drop me a line and shit, and I'll make sure you get in there. Also, hey, what's good, brother Johnny? I see you up there, man. Yeah, go ahead, request to be a member. You're guaranteed to get in there. Also, check us out on WhatsApp and Instagram. That's the Proper the Thought on Instagram. Leave out the series, just Proper the Thought on Instagram. Go ahead, follow us on Instagram. You're guaranteed to get a follow back. And y'all know we're going to end the night like this. I want you to get your black behinds down there to Twitter. The Twitter handle is at TPOT Media on Twitter. That's at TPOT Media on Twitter. Go ahead, follow us on Twitter. Because if you don't, I will haunt your black ass mama in her dreams until her birthday. So once again, I want to thank everybody in the chat, man. I want to thank my moderators always in there doing what they got to do. But most importantly, I want to thank you for hanging out with us tonight, spending some time with us tonight and watching us. I appreciate y'all, man, coming through tonight, man, because I wanted to, I wanted to talk about this, man, and I wanted to talk about this the way only I could. I've heard a lot of talk about it, and nobody was talking about it from this angle. So I figured I would, and I'm glad y'all came through, man, to check it out. Y'all know we probably throw down next week. I don't know if we're going to do a Wednesday night show. Next Wednesday, I don't know. Because I'm supposed to be going to New York. I think we're leaving Saturday or Sunday, and I may not get back till Wednesday night. I don't know. And when I get back, because we driving the car. So, that's like 9 hours. So when I come back, last thing gonna be on my mind is getting on YouTube. But Thursday, y'all know we always throw down on Thursday. D.X.L is what it is. I'm probably just gonna swing around now, man, and see what other brothers is doing. Maybe drop on a couple streams or whatever brothers got going on. So I will see y'all folks on the other side. So with that, I will leave you with 3 words. You know, like I always do. Open your minds. And we are out of here. Y'all. Peace, folks.
You understand?
Dark. Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
only from TV. Open your